All right, so I'm Tim,
And I'm Matt.
and today Matt is playing Batman, the NES Batman.
Yep, so this is very loosely based on the 1989 Warner Brothers movie of the same name, developed by Sunsoft, which is an excellent video game development company in the late 80s, 90s.
Yeah, this isn't one of those LGN games that everybody bitches about the movie adaptations for.
There is no Rainbow of Death involved in this game.
Do you know if Sunsoft did any other movie licensing ones, or was this just about it?
Not off the top of my head, but Sunsoft did a lot of other excellent games, like if you've ever played Blaster Master on the NES, excellent title. A lot of the sounds in this game, they're going to be similar to a game like that. They also did Fester's Quest, which was based on the Addams Family, which wasn't a particularly good game. But I mean, as far as like controls and everything go, Sunsoft was pretty spot on.
Yeah. So this game is notoriously relatively hard.
Yes and no. So you'll see once we get into it. A lot of the boss battles really aren't that hard, except for the end boss. But there is definitely some difficult aspects to this. It's a very short game. It's only 5 levels, 3 sub levels per level.
I gotta say, for NES, it looks like they were kind of pushing the graphics a little bit. This looks pretty good.
It's very colorful for an NES game. Okay, so we're starting here.
This is the part that I remember, was the Batmobile.
Yeah, the cutscenes are really cool. There's a cutscene after every level, so we're jumping out here. All right, so level 1. This is me failing to navigate the very first enemy in the game, so this playthrough's already going well. So these guys are going to run across the screen.
It's not quite playing games poorly well.
Not quite. Yep, so we took out the spray paint guy or the flamethrower guy, however you want to decipher him. There's a lot of item drops from either the enemies or some of the other...
Yeah, it looks like every enemy is kind of giving you item drops for it.
Yeah, so it can be anything from a health refill to a weapon refill. So there's a health refill right there. Or just like there's actually a score in here, so the B symbol is going to give you like points. The rocket symbol is going to increase like your secondary weapon. All right, yeah, so sub-level 1 was really short.
Okay. Yeah, it looks already like the game's more forgiving than what I've heard. If it's giving you items every single time, that's a nice feature.
Health drops are pretty few and far between, unfortunately.
It looks like you got some Ninja Gaiden action going on.
Yeah, so this is one thing that's really predominant in this game is this wall jump mechanic. So you could have gone and platformed up on the right-hand side with more of those flame-throwing guys. But the game almost like coerces you into doing that wall jump because it's going to come in handy later on in the game. All right,
that fits Batman really well too, though, doing that wall jump.
Yeah, and the controls on it are really tight. It's really easy to do.
Oh, good. That was just what I was going to ask you, was how does it actually feel? Because I know sometimes playing...
Like, certain games have real bad wall jump mechanics. Take, like, Super Metroid, for example, how difficult it is to, like, bounce off the walls.
Yeah.
And it's something you need to learn how to do. This one, it's very easy. So this is me using for sub-weapon here. So you get 3 different sub-weapons in this game. You're going to get like a boomerang, then you have like a rocket gun type projectile, and then there's a third one. You'll see it when it comes up. I can't really describe it right now.
Yeah, definitely point it out when we get there.
Yeah.
Being the resident comic expert, I'll try and come up with something as to what it is.
Yep.
So where's the shark repellent?
So this is the ninja guy. This is the only ninja guy in the game. That's the only time you're going to see him.
So is this supposed to be trying to be the chemical factory?
I think this is like the streets of Gotham City. In the background, you can see that this is Gotham City Hall. We're fighting the first level boss here.
Okay.
So again, this is toward the corner of the screen here. This is your safe zone. Again, the bosses aren't really that difficult to fight.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty easy mechanic.
Yeah, really,
for
you
him.
just camp out in the corner of the screen there. You're not going to get hit by any of his projectiles. When he dips down to hit you, that's when you throw your batarangs. Interesting thing about the batarangs is they're going to hit on every frame that they're on screen. So, you can throw only a few of them, and it's going to hit, a lot compared to the other projectiles.
Very cool. So now this is the chemical plant, because
I think so.
At least that's the part of the cutscene of the movie.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
they
you can
went
see
into.
that green shit on the floor. So, I mean, it would make sense that this is the Excess Chemical Factory. So I just fell in there. That was a mistake. So we're coming into some, mid-level platforming. We're going to need that wall jump mechanic again soon.
So all that green shit hurts you then.
Yeah, you're going to take damage from that. Everything in this game seems to deal 1 hit point. I think you get 8 total.
Okay.
So you're not getting punished. There isn't like a different value until later on, but we'll get there.
Overall, it doesn't look like you have any knockback or anything like that, too.
You do in spots, and I can't figure this out. It seems like if you're attacking from the air and you get hit, there's some knockback, but if you're attacking from the ground, there isn't. That's a pretty difficult jump.
That looks like a difficult
jump. You gotta hug the wall and then wall jump to get over that area there. So we got the spiky RC car right there. As soon as it senses you on its plane, it's gonna zoom toward you.
Okay, that's a pretty common.
Yep, you gotta avoid this mine. It's gonna shoot towards you and explode.
So is each level like two sub levels, kind of?
I think there's 3.
For the most part, 3.
Yeah, I believe there's 3, or unless it's 2, and then the boss fight counts as a 3rd. So this is the power plant part of the chemical plant.
Let's make it through pretty. It looks like that could be a lot more difficult if you go the wrong way. Did you have to explore a little bit the first time you played this?
Not really. It's pretty linear in nature, I would say.
Similar to most NES games of the time.
Yeah, it's not difficult to really figure out. You pretty much got a good idea of where you're going. So again, this is that wall jump mechanic. You really gotta, master in order to.
Do you think the Ninja Gaiden mechanic is easier or harder than what the Batman mechanic is for the wall jump?
Well, I mean, I think they're a little bit different. So for like Ninja Gaiden, you actually, will hold on to the wall.
Okay. Does this automatically cling you to the wall once you're?
Yeah, once you're hugging it, like that, you can do a wall jump, but you're gonna fall down unless you actually jump. So again, more of that
long jump off of it.
Yep, difficult platforming. So I got to pause here for a second because one of those runners is gonna come out here.
Kill himself.
He's gonna, electrocute himself.
Oh, but you didn't get the item. It was just tempting you right there.
Exactly. So yeah, this is 2-3, so this will be the 3rd sub level, and then after that there'll be a. So you can see, like, you can probably hear that boomerang's hitting a lot more than once.
Okay.
And you kind of want to take this thing out because it drops these mines that like follow you.
Okay.
And that can definitely rack up some hit points quickly. This is the only spot where that like RC car doesn't really like rush
come after you.
Yeah.
Ironically, I think this is longer than the actual Excess Chemical scene in Batman.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and
for such a short game, this is much longer than the actual movie.
Yeah, now we're in the trash compactor portion of the chemical plant with the grinders and like the incinerators.
That's the part where him and Chewbacca escape to, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
So
we need to call C-3PO to shut everything down. Okay, so this is that 3rd sub weapon. So it takes 3 of your weapon points to fire, but there's 3 projectiles, which is odd because when you use the gun mechanic, you're only using 1 projectile, but it costs 2 weapon points to use, and then the boomerangs cost 1.
So most part for those grinders in that one scene, it looked like if you fall straight through them, it tempts you to almost want to wall jump through those.
You can wall jump off of the conveyor belts to make it a little safer for you to cross, as you can see that I just did right there.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the 2nd boss level, and it's...
Is it the plant itself?
Yeah, pretty much. So there's 3 parts to it. So this is me using the rocket gun. You're going to take out this first part that shoots projectiles high and low. So if you duck and shoot, you're going to hit both of them. And I'm using the rocket on this part as well. So you got to hit this sensor here. That stuff that's dropping from the ceiling will eat your projectiles. So
okay.
you definitely want to time
it right.
Mm-hmm. And then this is the 3rd phase. So this thing comes out and it shoots like a spread shot. There is a safe point. If you get close enough here, you won't get shot, and then you can just punch the shit out of this thing until it explodes. So
that's
far,
for the 2nd level boss.
Yeah, so far so good.
This always brings up the idea of a lot of movie licensed games like to pull from, especially comics, extra source material of like, if this game I feel was made now, like Two-Face would be a boss in it, regardless of Two-Face even being in the movie at all.
Yeah, so most of the enemies in here are very unrecognizable except for
Joker at the end.
Yeah. So this is stage 3. This is where the game really ramps up in difficulty. If you fail any part of this screen right here, you might as well just reset the game.
This looks like the sewer level in Turtles.
Yeah, I don't know how this plays into the movie at all. I don't remember any sort of sewer, scene in the movie. So this one's kind of a mystery to me.
It was a deleted scene on the DVD extra.
Okay, I see. Batman meets Michelangelo down here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a new movie that just came out.
So these
Batman
guys
meets the
are
Turtles.
an ever-living nightmare if they get loose. So you want to keep them...
It looks
all
like
the way
just
to the
an
right.
arm.
Well, like I said, you'll see in a minute. Basically, they bounce all over the screen, and they're incredibly difficult to fight in close range. Here, we're going to kind of have to. So you can see them jumping toward the end here, but they come right after you, and they bounce. They just follow you, and they take a lot of hits. So trying to fight those guys without any weapons is, at least for me, next to impossible.
Yeah, I could see how that would be really tough for those guys. It looks like you have to almost take a hit on some of those.
Yeah, this is my first death. This was just kind of stupid. So you get to see me do it again. So, yeah, this 3rd weapon that spreads out, this is ideal. Luckily, I have enough in my inventory.
Oh, and you keep your weapons when you die?
Yeah, so whatever point value you left off with. But you definitely don't want to run out of weapon energy on this.
It doesn't have them or anything like that when you...
I mean, you can get them through, enemy drops, but,
yeah,
even the rocket's only going to give you 10 points, and every one of that spread shot takes 3, and you need 3 of them to kill, those jumpy bastards.
Yeah, this looks like 8 other games sewer levels.
Yeah,
like
it's just your standard 8-bit sewer level. Yep, so I'm just trying to get the timing down so that way I can actually register a hit. There is a chance that he jumps right over what I'm shooting at him, and then you're just wasting weapons.
For the most part, the graphics look pretty solid on it, though.
Yeah, they look great. I definitely like, the water looks great.
Yeah.
The actual turbines down there.
Well, especially in NES, when you get those really dark levels, a lot of the times it can be very, kind of misleading.
They just
kind
of blend into each other. This one, there's enough contrast in the colors to...
as much as I love Castlevania, even that does it a lot. When
for sure.
Your stairs in your background just blend into
Yeah,
each
everything's
other.
just purple.
But this definitely has some decisive colors to it. It looks good.
So we made it through the hard part. Not to say that this next part's easy, but it's definitely easier. So again, this guy we got to fight in the open, and
he just jumps around like crazy.
Just jumps around and just drains your health. So I'm down to 2 health at this point. Luckily, the end level boss isn't too big of a deal. Hopefully, I'll get some health drops coming up soon. Yeah, I'm definitely playing conservative at this point because I don't want to have to do this over. You get 3 lives, and then you got to continue. But when you continue, you're continuing at the beginning the stage. So I would start off at 3-1 again with no weapon energy, which is
Tough.
worst case scenario.
Yeah. Is it unlimited continues?
Unlimited
Did you even have to find that feature, or were you able just to?
So I was able to get through this without continuing, but in my practice playthroughs, yeah, there's
unlimited.
There's unlimited continues, but you're starting at the beginning of the stage, not the sub
That's like most Konami games, then.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. I like that feature. I think that really helps with.
That's the way it should be. You shouldn't have limited continues in a game that's meant to be this difficult. All right, so these guys are tough. Again, there's a rhythm to them though, so they're just going to eat a lot of your weapon energy. There is a way to actually despawn those tanks. I think I'm going to try it here.
Okay.
Where as long as you register them on screen, there's a chance that you can, move and then come back. And yeah, see, so now he's gone.
Oh, okay.
So then you don't even have to fight him, which is good.
So
there's a couple.
It glitches it out a little bit.
Yeah, there's a couple ways to. There's a couple areas where you can despawn enemies. That's definitely a beneficial spot to do it. Taking out this mine right here, so I don't have to worry about jumping over it or avoiding it. This is an area that's really dangerous with knockback, so you want to make sure that you take that thing out because it'll just.
If you're jumping like crazy, you said that's where you're.
Yeah, it'll just knock you back, and then you got to go through all that stuff, and that's when the enemies will respawn, and you got to fight all of them again. So here's another.
This looks like the hitboxes could be a little difficult too with how those walls are designed.
Yeah, some of them are a little funny, and those turbines right there will hurt you.
I always like that feature though. That's like of wall jumping levels. I always liked the moving turbines kind of halfway up.
Yeah, there's a couple of games that do that. Take Shinobi 3 on the Genesis, for example. Like one of the last things you do is a wall climb with like parts of it, segments that are electrified.
Yeah.
So it definitely makes you pinpoint your jumps.
They have some spots on the new Mega Man 11 that's that same way too, because they do a lot of the same kind of jump mechanics on certain levels.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be an expert platformer, be an expert platformer. There's another one of those tanks right there that I'm trying to despawn as well. Yep, nope, missed it. Try again.
Not today. Those almost look like the thing from RoboCop.
Oh, you had 209?
Yeah.
They don't navigate stairs as well either. You can see I'm just stopping right there. Yep, so we didn't have to fight it. This is the third level boss. Again, I'm really low on health, but if you just follow this pattern here, like you're never going to take a hit. Trying to fight this guy on level ground is a suicide mission.
Well, I think in most platformers that always is what trips up the earliest gamers is not finding that pattern and trying to straight up fight them. Every single one of these guys in any sort of platforming game is always going to be the most difficult trying to go straight on.
Yeah, you're never going to beat this guy toe-to-toe. So I stay on this leftmost platform and use that wall jump when he comes back over here to avoid him. So then he's going to jump up straight here, and that's when you can take your shots. Yeah. There is a way that you can hit him when he goes back over. Again, the hitbox is a little squirrely on some of these guys.
But for a game that you're not worried about timing, like time on
no,
it.
There's no time limit in it. So as long as you're patient, and you choose your shots.
I always get a little jumpy and a little aggressive when I want to play. Like I want to straight up fight him, and I always make that mistake. And I'm like, that was a stupid idea.
Yeah, this guy will just straight up wreck you if you're on the lower level. So just take your time. You don't even have to use your weapons. Just punch. I mean, it's definitely a monotonous fight, but not all of them have to be spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like just another generic. It kind of almost looks like Leatherface with Wolverine
with
claws.
A lightsaber hand, yeah. And then Vega Claw from Street Fighter 2. I don't know what this guy's supposed to be.
I think they definitely just need a generic. I wonder if Sunsoft borrowed him from any other games.
It's just a bad guy with an identity crisis. Like, he doesn't use that claw. There's no reason to have it.
It just makes him look cool.
Right, he's just using his lightsaber drill hand. Who obviously is in the Batman DC universe. Yeah, remember Lightsaber Claw Guy?
Of course, I collected all of his comics. I have issues like 1 through 4. It was a short run.
Yep, lightsaber claw guy that throws a sonic boom.
Next is this the museum now, I guess?
Yeah, but it's like all industrial. I don't remember. Again,
well, I mean, Tim Burton directed this movie, so everything's gonna be industrial.
That's true. I don't think so. Again, there's more of these jumpy guys, and then another one of those mine things.
Well, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of chaos going on here right now.
It's still not like it's not as crazy as some of the games that I've seen where there's just so much stuff on screen. It's hard to pay attention to everything.
For sure.
And you end up taking a hit no matter what. Like it looks like if you're patient with this game, you're really gonna.
Yeah, if you get hit, it's because you did something wrong. It's not unfair.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yep, more of these runners.
Oh, the Joker's face is like on the back of the TVs.
Yep, so there's a little cameo right there. That's a good health drop right there.
Yeah.
There's more of those jumpy guys coming up. That's why I'm just kind of inching my way through here. One, and I'm low on health again.
They really put all their cards on the table with Spray Paint Guy. Like, we're gonna put him in every single. He was practically
he's
Foot
in every
Clan.
level. Yep, Spray Paint Guy is here to stay.
I remember him from the movie. It was just as memorable as Sword
Well, there
Guy.
was Spray Paint Guy in the actual, Flugelheim Museum. Ruining all of the artwork.
Yeah. How much Prince music was in this game?
Unfortunately, none. There is some excellent,
I would have loved to hear some 8-bit Prince to be on there.
There is some excellent 8-bit music throughout this entire game, and most of it is, unique per level. Unfortunately, I don't think Prince wrote or produced any of it.
Well, I mean, this is in the big push for, one of the biggest comic book movies to come out and kind of change the face of comic book movies, because before this you only had Superman.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree.
So, I mean, as a big marketing push, Batman had to have video games and lunchboxes, and this was a dark movie for children to be really putting on there. I mean, it wasn't as bad as, like, making a children's TV show and video game about RoboCop, because RoboCop is much more violent.
Yeah, I think there was a good balance.
Yeah.
Batman, is a series that's pretty gritty in general, so it needed to be a little bit more dark and gritty, to attract an adult audience, but, you also did have to sell toys for it. And it wasn't as bad to where, like, children couldn't see it.
Yeah. And this was a little later in the NES life, too, so...
This was 1989, so it was probably midway.
So you're
through it.
But you're stepping up the NES category.
Yeah, it's definitely, not as basic as, some of the early releases. It's not as basic as, Duck Hunt.
Oh, yeah, no.
In general, unfortunately, like the movie tie-in games on the NES, were done by developers that weren't very good.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, a lot of the movie-based games just aren't good.
And I always look for the movie-based games too, because you watch the movie and you're like, oh, Die Hard, this is gonna be great. And
yeah.
I mean, Joe and I played Die Hard. Still, that game is terrible and really hard to play.
Yeah,
this at least looks playable.
It's very playable, and like I said, it's done by a software developer that made some very, very
kind
good
of
games.
cared.
Yeah. Yep. So again, just some more platforming, kind of similar to like the Chemical stage, but this time it's fire.
Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty similar.
Yep.
A lot of those little race car things.
Yep, so those little square tiles that are rotating are kind of come into play in a minute. They're conveyor belts, so they're gonna push you. You're going to want to avoid the lightning coming out. I don't think there's a pattern to that lightning, so you just got to kind of get lucky.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there would be.
No. And just doing some hardcore parkour. Yep, more spray paint guys. Probably shouldn't have used weapons on them, but whatever. And then there's Ed 209 again at the top of the stairs.
Hey, were you able? You're able to despawn him too?
Not him, unfortunately. It's better to be on an incline to fight him than straight on, because you can duck under these.
Oh, and you can use your weapon right at that.
Yep,
okay,
exactly.
Nice.
Yep, we're gonna have to do that a couple of times coming up through this climb here. Yep, there's another one. Again, patience is key here. There's no sense to take any additional hits that aren't necessary. Again, I'm really low on life. Well, you can see because I'm trying to figure out how I want to navigate this section right here. That's not going to work. I'm just going to have to punch, I think, and just hope for the best.
Oh, and there's a heart. Nice.
Yep. Try not to get painted. Is that another heart? Yep. So now we're in decent shape.
For the most part, it looks like even the enemy hitbox isn't like for that spray paint guy. Even though it spreads, you can duck underneath it.
It's pretty generous, yeah.
That's pretty favorable.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't know what you would do if you couldn't avoid it on that plane. Okay, so here's the level 4 boss. It's your standard box enemy. So as long as you're punching and as long as you're registering hits, you know, these enemies can pass right through you and you won't take a hit.
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
I'm kind of standing up here. It's not safe, but as long as I'm just mashing the punch button there, I'm not going to get hit. All right, so this is the second phase after you destroy one of them. So now he starts, you know, shooting these energy projectiles. I switched to the rocket, and as long as you're up on that platform,
they won't hurt you.
Yeah, you're safe. Like. So yeah, it'll pass right through your feet. You can see, but it's not actually registering damage.
Some more favorable hitbox.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah, because I don't even know if that would be avoidable if it was registering as hits there. Because you couldn't jump over it because you get hit by the.
Oh, another beautiful cutscene.
Yep.
So this has got to be last level then?
This has to be the cathedral.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no way to use like the Batmobile or the Batwing.
Yeah, that's the only things that.
But you do see him in the cutscenes at least.
He doesn't use them too much in the movie. I mean, short of with the Batwing just kind of stealing the balloons.
Yeah, but they are present.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, at least having them in cutscenes here. See, they get 2 hearts right there, and my life's full. So unfortunately, like, that's kind of the luck in this game. You know, sometimes like you won't get health drops when you need them, or you'll get too many when, you know, it's just useless.
So I'm guessing with this being the cathedral, there's a lot of up that you gotta go.
It's pretty much straight vertical. And the final climb section is pretty brutal. So all of those gears will hurt you. They're just like any of the other rotating turbines or anything that you've seen.
Okay, so not like the gears in Castlevania where you can ride them.
Here's another despawn section. So I got rid of that first spray paint guy right there.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to platform and then fight him. You want to just get through here quick because you don't want that mine dropping on you. This is kind of a tough jump to get through here. You got to bounce off the wall, and it's kind of a sign of things to come.
Yeah.
These things are a pain. They do have a rhythm to them. It's like 1 and then 2. So there's only one way through this. These jumps are some of the toughest right here. There's another one.
It looks like you almost have to get hit on them.
There is a way to get through it. It's very difficult. That's probably the toughest part right there in the entire climb. So
that was the thing that I always had the toughest part is when you have to drop down and then still grab the wall.
Yeah. You don't have much time to do it, and you got to be pretty accurate in order to miss all of those gears.
Especially in narrow caverns like this.
Yeah. So again, just abusing that, hit mechanic. There's another one of those jumps, and I didn't make it this time either. So now I'm in danger. There's spray paint guy again. We're almost there, which is good. And just got unnecessarily hit.
I'm sure this would be much higher than what the actual church is for how much you've had to go up.
Yeah, this is...
Like, I know it's a big tower inside the movie, too, but
yeah.
It seems like it might be a little high.
And even if you were in top physical shape, like the wall mechanics would just be grueling to climb up for even a super...
It'd be a hell of a movie.
Movement.
Batman just gets up there, he's like, just give me a second.
then you got to fight Lightning Guy. So there's two bosses that you got to fight here. So this is the first one. Obviously, the last one's going to be the Joker. This guy's got a pretty set pattern to him. Again, like your window of actually missing these projectiles is pretty slim.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're early on one of your jumps, you're gonna get hit, and I'm one hit and I'm done. So really, just hug the left, use your boomerangs. You're gonna want a lot of weapon energy for and then I got hit again. All right, so now I'm on my last guy. You're gonna start right here.
Oh, that's it. That's actually not bad if you're just starting there.
Yep. So again, same pattern. He won't completely rush you if you're all the way to the left, which is good. I kind of go military 1,000-yard stare at this point. Like I'm just looking real wide. I'm trying not to focus on any one thing and just focusing on the proper time to jump over these energy balls. And the timing to actually get these boomerangs off is pretty short. So getting more than one hit is...
Yeah, because you don't have much range with them, it looks like, too.
No, you almost want to throw them while you're descending from your jump in order for them to follow you back down and actually register hits. Alright, so that guy's done. Now we're fighting the Joker, which everybody knows is the most brutal part of this entire game.
Yeah.
There's a couple different ways to fight this guy. This fight's going to go really quick. It's just utter chaos. I go with the punch the shit out of him method. So this is the only place in the game where you're going to get hit for more hit points. If he shoots you, it takes 3 damage away from you. The lightning takes 1. So as long as you're hitting him, you can stay right in close with him.
Mm-hmm.
And not take damage. So I'm down to 1 at this point. And
got him.
Just squeaked it out. So yeah, last hit point, last life. If I had died, I would have had to start at the bottom, but I wouldn't have had to fight the first boss. So you would make that climb again, and then you would start by fighting.
You'd go right into the Joker?
Exactly. Yeah, so...
A couple more cutscenes.
A couple more cutscenes from, similar to the movie.
Very cool. So overall, what'd you think of the game?
Overall, I really enjoyed the game. The controls are very tight. I do like the wall mechanic. I like the sub weapons. I like having multiple sub weapons. It's difficult, but I think it's not unfair. I think if you make a mistake, that's when you're going to get punished. I don't think there's any part in the game that, like I said, I would say is unfair. I mean, the Joker is a tough fight, but...
do you wish it was a little longer from what it had, or is it about the right length?
No, I think it's about the right length. I'm okay with a short game if it does offer some challenge and is rewarding to get through.
Awesome. Well, I think that's going to be it for this game. We did also do the Genesis game, so If you're watching this one first, why don't you click onto the next little link, and it's going to be Matt playing through the Batman 1989 Genesis version. If you already watched the Genesis version, thanks for watching both.
Thanks, guys.
And make sure to, like, subscribe at Retro Takeout. I am Tim. I'm usually on Playing Games Poorly. I will also be over on my podcast talking about Batman with Screen Shuffle. So we'll see you next time.
See you next time.